Suck me! Sunday is the Sabbath. Black Sabbath Sunday. Sunday is the Sabbath. Black Sabbath Sunday.
SHMACKEMAGOB, everybody. It's time for, hey, Black Sabbath Sunday, man. Hope I can fill up every Sunday because, this Black Sabbath's not around anymore, and I'm putting up reviews once a month, but I don't know about every Sunday, but I'll try. I'm trying my best here. So what I'm going to do this week is talk about Speak of the Devil. Now, before I get into this album, there's a lot involved here that many don't know. A lot of drama is involved with this album. What they initially wanted to do was a contractual thing. Jet Records wanted Ozzy to make the live album. They heard Black Sabbath was doing Live Evil, so they wanted to release this one first, which they ended up doing. It came out, I believe, like a month or a week before Black Sabbath's Live Evil came out. So, but what happened was, this was going on when Randy was still alive. And Randy was against it. Randy wasn't a Sabbath fan. And Tommy Aldridge joined him. And then Rudy Sarzo joined him as well. They were all against it. And believe it or not, what I read, Sharon wasn't that upset about it. But Ozzy was. I mean, Ozzy was furious. And Rudy Sarzo said that's when Ozzy was like drinking like crazy at that time. And at one point, while he was super drunk, he fired the whole band. Then the next day, he didn't remember that. But, Randy wanted out. We all know that story. Randy wanted to go to school and for classical guitar. And so he buckled. In the end, he said, okay, look, I'll do the show, I'll do the album, and then I want to leave the band. And at this time, a lot of people don't know, before Randy died, he wasn't getting along with Ozzy. Ozzy was always drunk and fucking with him and taunting him. At one point, punched him in the face. Ozzy was completely out of control. This was also at the time when Ozzy pissed on the Alamo. He was just completely out of his mind. And so they got it down. They're going to do it. So Sharon wanted to make a home video of it and recorded, I believe, in Maple Leaf Gardens in Canada. They were going to film it with half-naked women on stage. They were going to film the whole Speak of the Devil album on video. That was the plan, but the plan was scrapped after the plane crash and Randy died. So, as you all know, Bernie Torme came in for a little bit, then Brad Gillis took over, and then they were back to, okay, we're going to do this album. And they only had 5 days to learn all the songs. Sarzo, Aldridge, and Brad Gillis. So they did. They learned all 5 songs, and while they were rehearsing it, Ozzy never showed up for rehearsal. So, day of the show, Ozzy, at that time, shaved his head off, shaved all his hair off, completely didn't know the song, so he had up on stage a chair and a lamp holding up lyrics so he can sing this show. And it was a disaster. Though the band played well, as you can all hear on the album, but Ozzy forgot lyrics, and there is a bootleg copy of it out there you can hear on YouTube where Ozzy just sounds like shit. So what Max Norman did, he made the band rehearse without an audience during the daytime, because they had a mobile recording outside of it was at the Ritz in New York, which only holds about 1,000 people. So he had the band play during the daytime, and there's 3 songs that are on the album with crowd noises from the daytime show. The rest is the Ritz show live, but Ozzy's vocals were redone in the studio. So that's the story behind all that. Crazy story, right? So, anyway, and then soon after, Sarzo left the band, and Ozzy didn't like Sarzo at backstage at the US Festival. He ended up punching Rudy in the face too. Alright, so let's go into this album, alright? Now, I don't know if you guys ever seen me talk about live albums that aren't really live and how I feel about them. I love them. I don't care. Seriously. Go listen to the bootleg of this at the Ritz. Would you rather have that or this? Because Ozzy sounds amazing on this, which he did later. The song Sabbath Bloody Sabbath that's on here was not one of the live songs that were recorded. That was one of the daytime shows. But Sarzo said that the crowd was extremely rowdy, and you can tell listening to this album how rowdy this the crowd is. Some of the banter in between songs is live, where Ozzy's like, you know, let's all smoke joints, let's all party, am I crazy, shit like that. That is live, but the actual singing's not. But this album's awesome. I absolutely love this album. The beginning of Symptom of the Universe, crushing. I mean, the band only had 5 days, and they nailed it. So as far as I know, the band is totally live on this, except for the daytime shows, which is still live, just not in front of an audience. They go into Snowblind, which was it? This song's about cocaine or something like that, and Ozzy keeps yelling cocaine during it. The Black Sabbath, the song Black Sabbath, it's all great, man. Fairies Wear Boots, War Pigs, The Wizard, N.I.B, Sweet Leaf, which Sweet Leaf wasn't on the original CD. When they first put this on CD, it didn't, and I had it. I don't know where it is anymore. But then they re-released it with Sweet Leaf, where it all fit on one CD. So I don't know what the hell. Record companies, you know, those weasels. Omitting a song that can still fit on an CD. Never Say Die may be my favorite track on here. I think that's my favorite. The Never Say Die, that version of Never Say Die, I absolutely love. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which I said earlier, was not recorded in front of an audience. Now the last 3 songs, Iron Man, Children of the Grave, and Paranoid, was not intended to be on here. They wanted to use Randy, because you know when he toured with Ozzy, they would do those 3 songs, but they ended up not using it, so they put it on here, on the tribute album. Those 3 songs were originally supposed to be on Speak of the Devil. So they told the band, look, don't worry about those 3 songs. We're going to use Randy. So they were very loose when they played it live, and Sarzo hearing it back was like, God, it was so sloppy, and he thought it was terrible. I got to listen to it again, because I remember him saying that and then listening to it afterwards, and I was like, I don't hear it, you know? So I need to listen again, see if I can catch it. But it's an incredible album. I think it's great. A lot of people don't like it, but I'm not a lot of people. And the inside, there's Ronnie. They used to hang him on stage. He was what do they call them? I don't want to be politically incorrect and say the M word. Short people. Midget. And they named him after Ronnie James Dio, because there was a lot of going back and forth, you know, Dio slamming Ozzy in interviews and vice versa. So they ended up doing that, but the cover is classic. Ozzy throwing up, like, it looks like jelly. It totally looks like jelly. In the back, and this is the only album to feature Rudy Sarzo and Aldridge playing. Now, I'm not talking about like Project Driver, if you know that shit rules. But I'm talking about on an Ozzy album. And also Slip of the Lip, Whitesnake, Aldridge, and Sarzo. But even though they're pictured on Diary of a Madman, they did not play on that album. But they did play on this. And Sarzo and Aldridge, hey, look, I saw it live. I saw them live, Blizzard of Oz tour. That is one tight-ass rhythm section. And on this album, you hear it. They were amazing together. I mean, amazing. And also I heard an interview with Dave Mustaine back in when he first joined Megadeth, praising that rhythm section. That was he had that in mind when he formed Megadeth. He wanted to get a rhythm section as awesome as Aldridge and Sarzo. So I absolutely love this album. If I was to put it up against Live Evil, I think I'd go with this one. And I do love Live Evil, and I'll have a future episode about Live Evil. But this album sold more, but in the States. But in Europe, in England, Live Evil charted higher. As far as if it sold more, I'm not sure about that. But I know it charted higher than Talk of the Devil, which is what it's called in England. They call it Talk of the Devil because they don't say Speak of the Devil over there. They say Talk of the Devil. That's their slang for it. But what else can I say? I absolutely love this album. When it came out, I would wear it out. And do I like it more than the Sabbath versions? No. I mean, that's my favorite band of all time. But I know many people that prefer a lot of these songs over the Sabbath version. Like my friend David Scott, you know. I don't agree, but I'm no pickle whistler. I respect that opinion. I like the original versions more, but I think this is great. I think Ozzy sounds amazing, whether it was 100 takes in the studio or that daytime show, what have you. But he sounded like shit on the actual live recordings, which if you punch it up here, Ozzy at the Ritz, 1982, was it? Yeah, I believe it was 82. He sounds really bad. But here he sounds fantastic. And that's why I love this album. Ozzy sounds great, the band sounds great. I don't give a fuck if it's live or not. The music's good, the music's good. I don't look into shit like that. Too many people look into this. I know I say this I've said this many, many times. A lot of you people that judge albums because, oh, they're not live, or I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like that Ozzy didn't write this, and blah, blah, blah. If you were on a desert island and you didn't know all this inside information, you'd have nothing to be angry about. Why don't you say, you know, I don't like the music. Not, well, when I found that out, I don't like it no more. Pickle whistler. Ozzy rules regardless of what a fuck up he was back then. And how he treated Rhodes was wrong. I agree, but hey man, when you're sloshed on alcohol, I'm not making excuses for the guy, but I'm sure Ozzy lived to regret it after the plane crash, how he treated Rhodes before he died. And there is a lot of confusion. There was see, Speak of the Devil. Right there it says it. And this is the first version I got. Speak of the Devil. These shows are not from that show. This is from, where was this filmed at? I know it was an outdoor show at Irvine, Meadowlands, California. And the smoke on stage, the dry ice and stuff, fucked up all the lasers. So when you watch this video, the lasers are superimposed on it. But it is with the big castle and everything. But it says, well, no, this one says Speak of the Devil correctly. This one's from Brazil. This is the better version. Don't get this version. This one's way better. That Eagle Rock put out. But it's the Diary of a Madman show. You know, it's exactly the Diary of a Madman show with that little instrumental that Randy Rhoads came up with that hasn't been released yet. I don't know if it ever will. But it's a killer instrumental during the guitar solo and drum solo. And but this is great. MTV first era. That's when I first saw it. I've watched it to death. You know, I mean, Brad Gillis may be no Randy Rhoads, and he's a little too fucking crazy on the whammy bar, but I dig it, man. I dug it. I think he did a fine job. Not easy to fill Randy's shoes, but he did fine. And this is the only thing that you can get with Gillis and Ozzy together. And the only thing you can get with Sarzo and Rudy together, the rhythm section. So anyway, everybody, so hey, if you'd like to donate to my channel, I got a PayPal below, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. Click that little notification bell. That would be awesome. SHMACKEMAGOB. For those that use social media, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and you can join the Almost Human 56 Facebook page. All links are in the description below. A lot of you been asking for it. SHMACKEMAGOB merch. Yes, many types of shirts, long sleeves, short sleeves, hoodies, you name it. Plus other stuff like shower curtains and bedspreads and mugs and socks and clocks and oh, I can go on. But why should I? The link is below. Just click the link below in the description for all the SHMACKEMAGOB merch. Order yours now. SHMACKEMAGOB! Hey, check out my podcast, The VIERA Vault, on Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. Subscribe. The links are below.
Looking for some new podcasts to listen to? Well, Rat Salad Review Network has plenty of shows to choose from. Like Rat Salad Review, where they discuss the latest rock and metal news, as well as interviews and albums. Album vs. Album, the King Diamond Podcast, with Wayne Noon, Greg Norgal, and sometimes this guy.
SHMACKEMAGOB!
Ralph Vieira is also on our network with the VIERA Vault. There's also Old Man Metal's Musings, where he discusses heavy metal and beer. Music is Life with Lou Mavs. The Right Opinion for those who love politics. A South Park podcast called Suck My Balls. The Infinite Fringe, a watch-along wrestling show called Beyond Bushido, ex-Stradivarius guitarist, the Timo Tolkki podcast, and the great Harry Barnett with I Don't Even Like Podcasts. So check out ratsaladreview.com or search Rat Salad Review on YouTube, Podbeam, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and more.